Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology, and I recently took Mr. Toad, my 1929 Ford Roadster, up to the Grand National Roadster Show. And I'd like to take you along and show you some of my favorites from this absolutely amazing annual event.
38 degrees when I left the lab early in the morning, went down to Temecula, picked up Sebastien, and we aimed up to the LA County Fairgrounds in Pomona for the Grand National Roadster Show. Now, I urge you to go check out Sebastien's video of the event. He got some great driving footage of us in the 29 Ford, so check that out here, and then check out all of the photos that I took and interesting cars that were in the lineup. Now, this is a hot rod show, but occasionally something really interesting shows up, like this 300 SL Mercedes Gullwing. That is a real Gullwing, folks. That is not a replica, and I will show you more about that later on. In any case, lots of hot rods, lots of roadsters. Of course, it is the Roadster show. You get some crazy rat rods and things like that roll up. Check out this bad boy. Talk about those pipes and big dually wheels. Definitely cool stuff all over the place. There is something for everybody, and there's something for people that don't know what they want, like this Volkswagen bodied hot rod thing of some sort. In any case, the lineup started moving and we started rolling into the showgrounds. We did get there quite early, wanted to make sure that we got a spot. This was a part of the cruise in, not an official part of the judged show. However, awards are given out to vehicles that are in the show and shine as well. So, definitely something where you want to bring your best and you want to hang out, and certainly rolling up there with Sebastien, having a good time. It is lining up to be a beautiful day. We did hit a little tiny bit of rain on the way up there, but for the most part, it looked like we were going to have a nice sunny day, and we did indeed. It was really awesome. Now, the LA County Fairgrounds is a cool spot. There's different spots where you can park. We parked in the plaza area, which is a very colorful, cool little area underneath the tree. Got a perfect spot for the Ford, pulled the hood off to show that flathead, and then we started our walk around. But really pleased with the spot. There I am posing with my baby, and now let's get into the rest of the show. These are some more cars that were in the plaza area. The welder up truck was there. This wild rig here. Lots of hot rods and roadsters. This is all next to the Suede Palace, which is a section of the show that's dedicated to traditional hot rods. And then between all the buildings, there are other cars parked as well. And things are kind of scattered around throughout the whole outside showgrounds. We're hitting that first because we did get there early, and this is before the main buildings opened up. But as you can see, some of California's best cruising machines show up. Muscle cars, hot rods. That thing had a Viper motor in it. Volkswagens. Here's a slammed Rolls Royce with fender skirts. You don't see that very often. Love that big caddy. Some really cool old stuff. This Jag was wild. Had a V8 in it, and was a pretty bizarre custom, but I loved the look of it. Buick Riviera, always loved those. There is one grassy area that some of the clubs had taken over. Some really cool cars out there on the lawn. And then all around the showgrounds, just amazing rides. So now back over towards the Suede Palace, you can see the lineup of some of these traditional rods and customs that are parked outside of the building. And just inside the main building, we will go into shortly, and you can see the full display of the Suede Palace. Now, remember, my green Roadster here, 10 years ago, attended the Suede Palace event and won Best in Show. So this was a return of this particular car there. It was interesting to see how many people recognized it from 10 years ago. In any case, this is the plaza. I love this area. It's probably my favorite part of the grounds. Definitely a fun place to hang out. And then inside the hall of the Suede Palace. This is definitely my favorite part of the event. These cars are just oozing with soul, patina is welcome, but everything in there has to have a traditional flair to it. There's no billet in this building. This is all about the old school, what hot rodding was back in the day. And the folks that are involved with this are all about preserving that, celebrating that, and expanding on that just slightly with modern race events and all sorts of different things like that. So some gassers, some wild customs. Love that particular one. Totally awesome. In any case, lots of colors, lots of fun, even some bare metal rides as well. And once we finish up here in the Suede Palace, we will go into some of the other hallways as well. But definitely love this scene. That Ford was spectacular. Beautiful car, great colors, definitely unique. Nothing like a good slammed bomb like that. Definitely super fun. Lots of great details as you get in there. This was probably the wildest rig. This totally insane drag machine here. Check out this engine. Wow, straight six, big carbs, being hauled by a themed out ranchero. I thought this thing was super slick, the whole rig front to back, and I would have loved to have heard that drag ride run. That engine is insane. The driver sits right over the rear axle. Yippee-ki-yay indeed. Let's see. Now back outside. Some more of the Suede Palace rides that are sitting out there. Another quick pass through the plaza. Let's see. Oh, this thing showed up. It was insane. This was a 1939 LaSalle that had a lot of fresh metalwork done to it. Really amazing stuff. That clear steering wheel, the gold details. This was a work in progress, but it was spectacular. Now in one of the main halls, this was a special display of street freaks and street machines over the era. There were modern cars in there, modern street machines like this Hemi Mopar, this wild big motor crazy stuff. I mean, man, and this is street freak indeed. From that giant engine to these mega fat slicks, wheelie bars, parachute, the whole damn thing. If this doesn't make you grow chest hair, nothing will. Some great period street freaks as well. Some stuff from magazines back in the day, as well as some people really pushing the envelope as far as how big of an engine you can stuff into one of these old cars. Details absolutely over the top everywhere you look. This show is all about perfection, and it is always an impressive thing to see. Every time I walk through these halls, I see builds like this. CUDA right here, the level of detail, totally insane. This wild Plymouth was there. Check out these modern resto mods. Interior in this thing was absolutely incredible. Fit and finish, superb from front to back. Big modern drivetrain in there, insane wheels. I mean, all of this stuff is absolute rolling art. And it just impresses me to no end. This is not my scene. This is not what I like to build and like to do. But if you don't see the workmanship involved with these cars as you walk around them, you are just not paying attention. This pink Vet was pretty awesome. That thing had been in a variety of magazines over the years. Definitely a flashback ride, but super, super cool. Crazy Pro Street Vet. Now into one of the other buildings. Here's a custom Volkswagen crew cab. Here's probably the craziest display that I saw, this full digital floor. It was kind of distracting, I got to admit, but it was pretty neat. In this building here are cars that are, there's Sebastien, cars that are being judged for other awards and things like that. There is also obviously the section that is being judged for the America's Most Beautiful Roadster Award, as well as the L. Slonaker Award. In another building as well. This was a cool flashback. This Good Vibrations buggy has been featured in magazines around the world back, 30 years ago or more, and now it is back on the show circuit. Another trick Volkswagen. a few imports mixed in, but this is primarily an American automotive show. Wild builds like this GT40 Mustang blend. Here's a Sunbeam Tiger, some more great vintage style hot rods as well as customs, and just something for everybody. Lowriders are also in attendance. Those cars are always spectacular and some of my favorites to see at the event. This was a wild little Winnebago based on a golf cart chassis, a little tiny Winnebago. Pretty wild. I have no idea what this vet was all about, but it was truly crazy. Here's some of the lowrider roundup here, the lineup of those cars. I am always blown away with the quality of paint and detailing on these cars. It is absolute eye candy from top to bottom. It is definitely fun to witness, and I'll show you one in a little while that is even more insane that was out in one of the big show buildings with a full display. But man, these cars are spectacular, and this is so much a part of SoCal's car culture, the lowrider scene. It's something that I've seen throughout my whole life, and it's something that I respect and love dearly. Some more crazy modern show rides are in there as well. There are some motorcycles also, more insane paintwork, crazy level of detailing, choppers and full customs. That bike was really nuts. Gary Wales, his La Bastione car there. And then this was a display of Lincoln Zephyrs. This is something that was special for this year, kind of a featured mark and model, and a whole lineup of these swoopy deco machines were here on display, from stock ones to custom ones and everything in between, and it really made a statement. These cars are absolute works of art from start to finish, and to see a bunch of these things together, to see the variety between them all, whether it be a convertible or a hardtop or the sedan, all of them, these things are pure style. They are fluid and beautiful and look like they're moving when they're not. Always love these cars, and it was great to see a full assortment of them on display. That one sits in the Peterson Museum. It was brought out for the event, and it was great to see that there. Let's see, more crazy show cars all lined up here. I mean, it's really kind of endless. I know I'm rambling along here, but you can turn me off if you're not a fan of my commentary. In any case, getting into another one of the other buildings here. Some cars with full displays, some just parked out there, everything fairly roped off so that folks can't get in there and make a mess of things. But it does seem that everyone's quite respectful. Loved this period custom that had been brought back out recently. Some wild modern stuff as well. Now we're getting into the America's Most Beautiful Roadster display and competition. This is a fierce competition between top builders around the country to win the coveted America's Most Beautiful Roadster award. And those cars are pretty stellar when you're looking at them, without a doubt. These are some of the displays around there as well in that building. The Pinstripers display is fun as well. They have a charity auction there. Lots of fun artwork and the smell of one shot in the air. Some more fantastic customs. Absolutely loved this Trick funny car Opel GT. This body is so smooth and so sexy, and just absolutely incredible car. I love that. It's like this little mini vet on steroids. Totally badass. All right, some more basic hot rods. This was from Hollywood Hot Rods. That T-Bird was beautiful car. That was your America's Most Beautiful Roadster winner. Was that flamed car back there a couple slides ago. Let's see. Some weird little projects in the works, as well as some interesting blends of old and new. Love that Pontiac wagon. Some more traditional rods kind of mixed in there. Some of the top builders are there with their latest projects on display. The American Hot Rod Foundation was there with some historic displays. Me with a couple buddies. Love those headlight perches. Look a lot like the one on my car. There was a Bugatti there. I have no idea what that was doing there, but I think probably the crowd favorite amongst everybody there was the Uncertain T. This is a long-lost show rod from back in the day that has been discovered just in time for the show, and it was fun to see it on display there. Definitely a wacky rig. Some vendors with cool vintage stuff, as well as modern things, and performance parts, of course. Lots to see everywhere I look. Now back walking around outside through the Suede Palace outside display. Some more details of that Gullwing Mercedes. That was a really, really trick car with Von Dutch style pinstriping on the dash, custom knobs, and some mild performance upgrades as well. And there's my trophy for the day, the winner of the Hop Up Magazine Editor's Pick with my 29 Ford. I could not be more thrilled with that. Definitely a fun day and cool to see all of these amazing machines. Some more details of that Gullwing. Man, I just absolutely fell for that car. My favorite of what I saw there. The little details and stuff were insane. I mean, this is well over $1 million car that this guy is having a blast with. You know, pulled the bumpers off of it. He did some trick painting and stuff on the inside. He set it up with some stickers on the outside, some machine-turned pieces, custom amber knobs, and that pinstriping, of course, is nuts. And apparently he's done some performance stuff to it as well, tried to build it as a car that you would have seen back in the day, maybe showing up to Bonneville and running, blue dots, love blue dots on a Gullwing. It's just kind of silly, but right on, man. I absolutely dug this car. I just thought it was pure punk from start to finish. And he did fire it up at a couple of points during the day, and it sounded wicked. Anyway, love those cars. I know this guy showed up with Walter PPK at a knife fight, but he stole the show in my book. All right, H&H Flatheads, some of their stuff on display. Some more trick customs out there. More traditional flathead rods. This kid was styling. Me with Cosmic Joe and Sandra. Oh, here's that totally insane lowrider I mentioned to you before. The level of detail on this thing was absolutely jewelry-like on every square inch of this thing from top to bottom. This absolutely blew my mind. This is beyond art as far as I'm concerned. Just insane. What a ride. Crazy airbrush work on that as well. Anyway, I absolutely love to see that art form taken to the extreme level. Pete and Jake's had their cars on display. It was their 50th anniversary, I believe. Rod and Custom Magazine back in the day. This was the winner of Al Slonaker Award. Really, really impressive, build there with all the modern touches. I mean, these cars are... God, they're so nice. I can't imagine driving them, but it's beautiful to witness them, especially when they're up in the air with mirrors underneath and things like that. There's the Al Slonaker Award. That was last year's winner of that award. Love that Buick. Anyway, back outside for another little walk around. We are definitely rolling up towards the end. This was an outside area, main parking lot where a lot of great cars were up there. That Kaiser was insane. A Studebaker Bullet Nose, nice Impala. There's that crazy rat rod truck that pulled in. This is my friend Ed's crazy double cab, spindle mount front wheels, crazy tack. His headlights are the parking lights. Yes, he got rid of the headlights because he's nuts, and I love that. This is an Alfa Romeo that's been turned into a resto mod. I'm sure that there's several people who would like to burn this guy at the stake, but I will say it was really nicely done. This wild great race car was out there on the lawn. Super fun to see. Bella's Custom. Here's some more of the lineup there. And this kind of finishes off our walk around of the Grand National Roadster Show. I know it went kind of quick, and, I'm kind of rambling throughout all of it, but there you go. Gonna grab myself a taco, get the hell out of here.
Absolute blast. I cannot tell you how much fun that really was. Driving up there in this old bucket, my first long trip up there and back. It was about 180 miles round trip. and actually maybe just a little more than that. And I brought home some hardware, Hop Up Magazine's Editor's Choice, with this fantastic little car. I'm so thrilled to have this car here in the lab. I'm going to have a ton of fun with this thing, running it around, and I'm definitely going to share that experience with you guys in upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching. Keep on digging them up and driving them. Bye-bye.